Alright, this is Boxing with the Truth, and I am the Truth on August 2nd, 2015. And today we have with us middleweight prospect Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. How you doing today, Caleb?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Well, no problem. I appreciate you taking time. I know you're really busy. I know you got a fight coming up August 15th, right?
Yep.
Now, do you know who your opponent is for that yet?
No, they're still working out the kinks on giving me an opponent.
Okay. So first, let's go over a couple facts. Like I said, you are middleweight. Your pro record is 8 wins, 7 knockouts, 0 losses, right?
Yep, that's right. Correct.
Okay, and you fight out of Nashville, Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
And that's is that Music City Boxing, right?
Yeah, Music City Boxing.
And you are signed with Al Heyman?
Yep, signed with Al Heyman and co-managed by Luisa Cubas.
Okay, and like I just brought up, you do have a fight August 15th that you've been training for. That will be on Premier Boxing Champions, and it'll be aired on NBCSN, and it's in Montreal, Canada, on the undercard of Lucian Bute versus Andrea Di Lusa.
Yep, that's the one.
And now, is your fight actually going to air on TV or no?
As of right now, I'm being told mine will be televised, so...
Okay.
If everything was right, then, yeah, mine will be televised on NBCSN.
So, I want to jump back a little bit in your career. Some people might not be aware of this. You didn't actually start out boxing. You actually were kickboxing, and for the boxing fans that aren't aware, you actually were pretty good at kickboxing. You're actually a former International Kickboxing Federation national and world champion, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I started out kickboxing when I was 12, and yeah, I got 5 world titles and 9 national titles of kickboxing, and I just kind of started boxing to kind of help out my hands at kickboxing, and it just slowly started, migrating more and more towards boxing, and then, here we are,
So basically, you felt like you had done enough in kickboxing. Why not try another sport and see how you succeeded there?
Well, there's really no money in kickboxing or recognition. I mean, even, being a pro world champion, you still have to have a regular full-time job. And, fighting is all I ever wanted to do. So, when I was younger, it was more about, I think it would be better to migrate towards boxing because, I'm not going to be able to make a career out of kickboxing. And then as I started doing it more and more, I kind of found out that boxing was what was for me,
Okay, and speaking of boxing, your father actually was a boxer, correct?
He was a kickboxer, actually.
Oh, he was a kickboxer.
Yeah, he fought on ESPN. He never won like a world title or a national title, but he did his thing back in the day.
So that might be where you get some of the talent from, then.
Yeah, I guess in the genes, I guess you could say.
So now, when you were amateur boxer, though, you actually fought at light heavyweight, and now you fight at middleweight as a pro, though, right?
Yeah, I fought at 178 as an amateur. I was kind of a small light heavyweight, though. I never was at the full 178 or struggling to make that weight class or anything. But, I really didn't know a lot about nutrition and, things of that matter when I was younger. And as I, got older and studied more and, as you grow, you become more mature, then I learned more about nutrition and started taking that a lot more serious and speaking with nutritionists and stuff like that. And, really cleaned up my diet and moved on down and became more fit, so.
Okay, now in 2011 though, you won Golden Gloves light heavyweight national champion, and in 2012 you were actually an alternate for the U.S. Olympic boxing team, right?
Yeah, that's correct. In Indianapolis in 2011, I beat Jerry Odom to win the Golden Glove Nationals, and then I fought Terrell Vichet, and it was a really good fight. He did his thing, I did my thing, and you know, he wound up coming out on top, 18-16, and you know, I guess, you know, that put me in position to be an Olympic alternate in London.
Okay, and ever since you started your pro career, I mean, you were just cruising along, doing pretty well there, and I know you, and is it your fiance or your wife yet, Carmen?
My fiance.
Okay, and I know you guys had a daughter, and unfortunately she had a lot of medical problems, and I know you've said in different interviews that, you know, she was your driving force every time you got in the ring and gave you the motivation and stuff, and unfortunately her name was Alia, right?
Yeah, Alia.
And unfortunately a few months back she lost her fight due to a rare condition and she passed away. So tell me, since then, how's that been for you personally and in the ring?
You know, it's definitely been a roller coaster. I mean, I grew up really poor, you know, not so much in a dangerous place, but just in a place where there's a lot of poverty. So that was always kind of like my driving force to, you know, change the ways of how I grew up, you know, knowing that I didn't want to live like that forever. And then when Alia came along, she added to that. So, you know, of course, she gave me a lot of motivation. And since birth, you know, the pregnancy went great, but as soon as she was born, they realized that there were something wasn't right. So they ran tests and they found out that she was having seizures, and she would have like up to 150 seizures a day sometimes. And she had brain damage. She didn't have it. She had zero motor skills. She couldn't sit up. She couldn't hold anything. She couldn't hold her head up. She couldn't eat. She ate the Mickey tube in her stomach. And she was always sick in the hospital. She was on life support a couple times. And so, I mean, that definitely motivates you to, you know, work hard, because that right there, that you know that not everybody gets the chance to be superbly athletic. You know, there's some people out there who are, and you know, a lot of people say, well, if you're not getting it done, then you're just not working hard enough. And most of the time that's true, but there's a small gray area out there of people who just aren't going to have it, and they don't even have to be as worse off as Alia was. You know, there's just going to be some people out there who just don't have what it takes to become that person. Then they're going to score the game-winning shot, or hit the home run, or be captain on the cheerleading squad. So if you have it, I mean, you got to take full advantage of it, because not everybody gets the chance to do some of the things that I do, or that others do. So that always motivated me to make sure that, you know, I gave my best every single day, because some people, like Lucia, can't even get out of bed, or never would be able to get out of bed on her own and walk down the hallway. You know, open her own Christmas presents, say, "I love you, Dad." You know what I'm saying? Things that people take for granted. And it, you know, at the same time, though, it takes a toll on you, because she would have sometimes 5 to 7 doctor's appointments a week at Vanderbilt downtown. So, you know, I'm trying to manage a relationship which is hard enough on its own. With, you know, not that we have a horrible relationship. Me and my fiance have a wonderful relationship, but, you know, it still takes work. And at the same time, I'm trying to balance a professional career. I'm trying to keep a roof over our heads, because she couldn't go to a daycare. So Carmen was a full-time stay-at-home mom who took care of her. You know, we had to eat every 3 hours through a tube. She had to have her medicine made and given to her. She had to have shots. She had to be cast every 3 hours. I mean, there was a lot that went into it. And, you know, Carmen did a lot of that while I was training. You know, so having to balance that, keeping a roof over our heads, you know, it can take a toll on you at times, but you just gotta, you know, I would just think at that time too, even out of training, think about what all Alia was having to go through, and if she can do that, you know, then I can take care of the things that's on my plate. So it was definitely a lot of motivation for sure.
And I mean, it's still, you know, unfortunately, like I said, even though she passed away, that's still got to give you motivation to want to succeed in this sport and become a world champion.
For sure, you know, even since I was a kid, the plan has been to be, you know, a pound-for-pound type boxer, undisputed, you know, world champion, all the things that everyone in the sport wants to accomplish. But, you know, there's a lot of times that I would sit and tell Alia all the things that I wanted to accomplish, and, you know, she couldn't react to anything I was saying, but I felt like I knew that she knew what I was saying. And, you know, she may not be here, but I still plan on accomplishing all the things that me and her talked about. So that definitely keeps me motivated. And
I know you have quite a few tattoos, so I'm curious, have you gotten a memorial tattoo to honor her to wear to the ring?
I have a lot of what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, I know you have a few tattoos, and I said, since her passing, have you got yourself a memorial tattoo to honor her to wear to the ring?
Yeah, I have. I got a sugar skull on my forearm, and sugar skulls, they represent, you know, like the Day of the Dead, like deceased children or deceased loved ones, adults. And I have one, and like in her honor, it's kind of customized, like, you know, dedicated to her, so it's got, you know, details that made me think of her. It's got a name on it and, you know, different stuff like that. So. Okay.
So is there any activity that you enjoy doing outside of boxing just to kind of get away from the sport?
Yeah, I mean, I do this 6 days a week, you know, 2 to 3 times a day. So Sunday it's usually just sitting in the house watching movies or just relaxing. But yeah, I played football when I was younger for about 8 years, 9 years. So I've always enjoyed football. You know, I like playing basketball. I'm a pretty big family guy. I mean, all my family, I have a pretty big family. We're really close, and we celebrate all the holidays together and stuff. So I'm a pretty simple guy. I don't really go out that much and, you know, go down, like, clubbing or whatever. I'm pretty just focused on, you know, becoming successful and doing whatever it takes to get this boxing stuff done. But, you know, I like going out, being outdoors and, you know, stuff like that. So.
Okay, well, seeing that you are from, you know, Nashville, Tennessee, the home of, you know, a lot of great music talent, do you sing or play any instruments? Do you have any musical talent?
No, zero musical talent.
Well, I guess that's a good thing you're a boxer then.
Yeah. I sing sometimes, but my fiance Carmen, she tells me to stick to boxing.
Do you have any superstitions or rituals or habits that you do before a fight?
Yeah. I work really hard in training camp. That's all. That's it. I don't believe in. I believe in God. You know, I feel like God giving you blessings. But God blesses those who work hard and bless themselves. So I don't believe in, you know, putting on my left shoe before my right shoe or all that stuff. I don't believe in any of that helping me to win. I feel like as long as I put the work in, which I do, as long as I put the work in training camp, I go to strength and conditioning, I run my miles, you know, all that stuff. I'm on a strict diet, very monitored diet. You know, I try to do everything to a T, from ice baths to cryotherapy to chiropractor to everything. And if I put in the work like I'm supposed to, then come fight night, you know, that's what's going to get me a W. It's the hard work.
Okay, so tell me something that your boxing fans wouldn't know about you.
Let's see. Well, I said that I played football for about 8 years, so that's one. Let's see, you caught me off guard with that one. I like to dance.
You like to dance.
Yeah.
So you can't play an instrument or sing, but you can dance.
Yeah, I can dance a little bit.
What kind of dance?
Let's see. It don't matter. All types of dance.
Okay.
They don't want to see me on the dance floor.
Maybe next time you get a knockout, maybe you should do a little bit of dancing in the ring.
Alright. I'm waiting for the right one. You know, if you start doing... I'm really... I know I have a lot of character, and I want to be, you know, showboaty, and I want to give the fans, you know, a show and really do it up. But, you know, if you do that too early in your career, you know, a lot of people like to say things. Not that it matters what people say, but, you know, I want to wait for the right time to bring out the right stuff. So, okay. But yeah, it's on the way. It'll be there. You'll see it at some point.
So, is there one person that inspires you in your life, inside and outside the ring, besides your daughter that we've already talked about?
Yeah, my dad and my grandfather. My dad, he's always been a really hard worker, and he's always, you know, I wouldn't even be here today probably if it wasn't for my dad. I'd be in some huge trouble somewhere, or just, you know, fighting is all I've ever known. And he gave me that, you know what I'm saying? He started me out. He's my assistant coach now, but he's been with me from the get-go, and he made sure no matter what that I had a gym. You know, he had his own gym for a while, for a long time actually, a couple different gyms. And he started it because he, you know, wanted to give me something to do other than running up and down the street with my friends when I got older, going out. You know, he wanted to give me a place to be able to come and stay out of trouble. And, you know, I thank God for that every day, because there's no telling where I would be if it wasn't for him giving me this type of outlet to express myself, and something that's given me identity. And, man, he's always been just so supportive of everything I've done. And my grandfather, a lot of times when my dad would work a lot, you know, my mom would be in and out, and we would stay at my grandparents, me and my sisters, my little sister would, and stay at my grandparents' house. And my grandfather has always been just an exceptionally hard worker as well. He was probably the hardest worker I've ever met. And he's also been a successful businessman throughout his lifetime, and now it's paid off for him. And, you know, he's living, you know, in a way that I look up to and want to try to copy that, you know, and hopefully surpass that.
Okay, by any chance, did you watch boxing last night? Did you watch the Sergio Mora and Daniel Jacobs fight?
Yeah, I watched like the first 5 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds of the Garcia-Malignaggi fight, but I seen that, and I seen the Daniel Jacobs fight. So,
and I just want to know your opinion as a fighter, and you actually are in this weight class. Now, Sergio Mora, I think he's a pretty classy fighter. I've followed him for years. I like the way he fights. I kind of had a little bit more respect for Daniel Jacobs last night, too, until he made the comment when Sergio Mora, after he injured his leg, asked for a rematch. And Daniel Jacobs said, "No, I'm not going to give you a rematch. I'm not moving backwards. I'm moving forward." What'd you think of that?
I mean, you know, there's a lot of... For someone like Danny Jacobs who just came off a win like that, there's probably a lot of stuff going through his head. You know, you don't know what he's thinking at the time. You know, and sometimes it might be hard to think straight. So,
I mean,
I feel like he played it off a little better and said, you know, let's get past this and let's get back and let me talk to Al, and we'll see what we can come up with, instead of just maybe blatantly saying no.
Yeah, because it's not like he knocked the guy out in the first round or something. I mean, the first round was actually a good, you know, it was a nice round. They knocked each other down. Everybody was anticipating, wow, this could be a good fight. and then Sergio Mora hurts his leg. So it's not like Jacobs outright beat him, and for him to say, well, I beat you and, you know, I'm not giving you a rematch, it's like, hey, you know, the fans want to see a good fight. It was starting out to be a good fight. Why not tell them, hey, we'll see what's down the road. When you recover, then maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I didn't know if maybe Danny thought that he did hurt him and dropped him, and maybe he didn't realize that he hurt his leg. Maybe he felt like Sergio Mora was trying to, like, you know, pop out or something like that. I mean, I don't think so, but I'm just trying to think from Danny Jacobs' perspective. You know, maybe he had a different perspective on it, a different outlook. So, you know, I'm not sure. I kind of agree with you, but, you know, to each his own.
So
but, hopefully, you know, Sergio Mora can recover and they can get back in there and, you know, give a full fight, or at least, you know, if someone gets stopped, it's not due to some freak injury.
So now your division, I mean, there's quite a bit of decent fighters in your division, and there's a lot of matchups that are taking place. And I know you're only 8-0 and you got a fight coming up August 15th. But I mean, is there any names on your radar down the list that you would just love to get in the ring with in your division?
Of course. You know, I don't plan on being a fighter that does the best people out there. I know what my skills consist of, and I'm confident in my skills. So I feel like, obviously, there's, you know, more experience to be gained as always, but I feel like, you know, once I get to that level, then whoever is at the top, that's who I want to be facing. Obviously, I got to work my way up there. There's really no sense in even calling anybody out right now, but, you know, I'm down to fight whoever, whenever. I've never been the type to be scared of anybody, so, you know.
Well, personally, I hope that you and Tony Harrison meet in the ring down in the future, because I'd like to see that fight.
Oh, yeah? What do you think of that?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is I think it would be an interesting fight. Because he just, you know, he got his chin tested, and he just got beat recently. And so, you know, it's, I mean, the guy's 19-1 now. I mean, so, you know, you'd have probably a few more fights before you got up to him. But I think it would be a good fight, because both of you guys just like to come out and entertain and put on a good show. So I think somebody would get knocked out in that fight. I'm not sure who, but I think it would be a war.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Tony, we came up in the amateurs together, and he was there the year that I won the Gold Glove Nationals. We've always been, you know, close, and we still text to this day. I was texting right before he fought. So, you know, Tony's a good dude, and, you know, he's got a lot of good things going. So, yeah, that's, you know, a potential matchup one day. We got to see how things pan out.
All right, well, listen, I want to promote your fight one more time before we end this interview. For the boxing fans that weren't listening or are listening now, Caleb Plant, he's still waiting to find out who his opponent is. He will be fighting August 15th on Premier Boxing Champions out in Montreal, Canada. You can tune in to NBCSN Sports Network. It will be on 9 p.m. Eastern. It is on the undercard of Lucian Bute versus Andrea Di Lusa, and according to Caleb, his fight will be making the TV. So please tune in and follow Caleb Plant's career. Anything you want to say to your fans or your supporters, Caleb?
Oh, yes, definitely. I appreciate everybody's support. You know, all my backing. And I hope you guys to continue to support me and follow me, and as I keep rising and, you know, keep winning, keep working hard. Anybody looking to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at Caleb Plant to get more details on, you know, what's going on a day-to-day basis or what fights are coming up. You know, I'd love for you guys to follow me and stay in touch, message me, you know, ask me any questions. But yeah, I appreciate you guys.
All right, and with that, the truth has spoken.